Welcome back to the Government Report. In this exciting installment, we're going to take a journey, not into conspiracy, but into the cold, hard patterns of history. If you think the decline of America is shocking or unexpected, buckle up, because what we're seeing today has played out before, many times, with eerie accuracy. Let's get into it. The rise and fall pattern. History isn't random, it's a death loop. A grim pattern that empires, no matter how mighty, can't escape. From Rome to Britain, from Persia to the Soviet Union, every superpower has danced the same deadly waltz: rise, reign, rot, collapse. And America is now deep into the third act. This isn't speculation, it's historical law. Sir John Glubb wrote a brutally honest essay outlining this cycle, and financial titan Ray Dalio has echoed the same warning. Most empires last about 250 years before they implode. Not from enemy invasions or alien armadas, but from self-inflicted wounds, decadence, debt, arrogance, and division. Sound familiar? Rome ruled the known world, until it drowned in political chaos and cultural decay. The British Empire owned 1/4 of the earth, until corruption and nationalist fractures tore it apart. Now look at America, born in 1776. Add 250 years, you land squarely in the 2020s. Right now. We're not watching the beginning of the end, we're living it. If you think empires fall with explosions, you're wrong. They die with indifference, with apathy, with the slow rot of a population too distracted to notice the decay, too divided to stop it, and too arrogant to believe it could happen here. But it is, right now. Warning signs, ignored, again and again. Every fallen empire left behind a trail of red flags, massive debt, unchecked military ambition, paralyzing political infighting, and a culture obsessed with comfort and spectacle. The signs weren't subtle, they were broadcast in real time. But the elites didn't listen. The people didn't care. And the decay kept spreading. Sound familiar? Take ancient Rome. As it expanded, wealth flowed into the capital, but only to the top. The rich got richer while the poor were tossed crumbs. The Senate, once a serious governing body, devolved into a corrupt, performative circus. And to distract the restless public, gladiators and games. Bread and circuses became the formula. Keep the people fed and entertained, and they wouldn't notice the empire burning. Fast forward to today. Swap the Colosseum for endless social media, partisan echo chambers, and 24-hour outrage. We're not arguing over ideas anymore. We're flinging digital stones. Our political divide has become tribal. People don't just vote differently. They hate each other. That's not democracy. That's fragmentation. And a fragmented empire is a dying one. Economically, we're not just slipping. We're spiraling. The national debt is beyond comprehension. The middle class is shrinking. Entire generations are stuck with student loans, unaffordable housing, and stagnant wages. Meanwhile, the ultra-wealthy accumulate more than entire states. The system is swollen, and in history, bloated systems always implode. These aren't anomalies. They're the symptoms of decline, just like Rome, just like every empire before us. And yet, we scroll past it all, distracted by the next trending topic. History doesn't whisper, it screams, but you have to be willing to hear it. Cultural decay and loss of identity. When a civilization forgets who it is, it doesn't just stumble, it collapses. Look around. America isn't just experiencing a cultural shift. We're witnessing a cultural demolition, and the worst part? It's self-inflicted. We used to have shared values, shared heroes, shared purpose. Today, it's all fractured, atomized into trending hashtags, viral outrage, and ideological echo chambers that don't just disagree, they despise. Every great empire falls when its culture goes from unifying to weaponized. Rome didn't die on the battlefield, it died in the Senate, in the streets, in its values. They traded stoicism for spectacle and nobility for narcissism. And now look at us. We used to revere hard work, honesty, and innovation. Now it's clout, likes, and how well you perform outrage on social media. Morals are mocked. History is rewritten or deleted. Patriotism is seen as either dangerous or cringe. Meanwhile, celebrities preach politics. Politicians act like celebrities, and the average citizen can't define what it even means to be American anymore. Ask 10 Americans what this country stands for, and brace yourself. You'll get 10 different answers. One says freedom, another says oppression, some say justice, others say empire. We've lost the thread. The story we tell ourselves, our national identity, is broken. And a nation without a coherent identity? That's not a nation. That's just a group of people sharing the same GPS coordinates. Let's get something straight. This is not about being liberal or conservative. This isn't a partisan issue. Cultural decay is bipartisan. It doesn't care who's in the Oval Office. It creeps in like mold, through the cracks of comfort and complacency. When people get too rich, too entertained, and too distracted, they stop defending the core values that got them there in the first place. This isn't just about art or music or fashion. It's about meaning. When everything becomes ironic, when nothing is sacred, when the only thing we worship is ourselves, we lose the cultural glue that holds society together. And without that glue, everything breaks. Just look at the obsession with tearing things down instead of building anything new. Historical monuments? Smashed. National holidays? Canceled. Shared rituals? Mocked. We're living in an era where cynicism is cool and belief in anything bigger than yourself is laughed at. That's not evolution. That's erosion. We've replaced timeless values with temporary trends. Discipline is toxic. Masculinity is problematic. Religion is outdated. Pride in your country? Dangerous. But nihilism? Authentic. This isn't progress. This is collapse in real time, masked as enlightenment. The Romans threw bread to the crowds to distract them. We throw memes, drama, and manufactured outrage. And just like Rome, we're so busy looking inward and tearing each other apart that we won't even see the collapse until we're standing in the ruins. Wake up. A country isn't a flag. It's not a border. It's not even the Constitution. It's the people and the stories they believe in. And when we stop believing in those stories, when we forget who we are, history promises only one thing: we fall. The illusion of invincibility. The moment an empire starts to believe it is invincible, that it can never fall, it's already halfway in the grave. The British Empire once bragged that the sun never set on its dominion. They were the masters of the seas, colonizers of continents, and enforcers of global power. Rome called itself the Eternal City, backed by the belief that its rule would stretch forever, etched into stone and blood. But today, the British Empire is a nostalgic footnote. Rome, a pile of ruins that tourists pay to walk through in sandals. And now we have America, the exceptional nation, the global policeman, the economic engine of the free world. But underneath the patriotic slogans and red, white, and blue illusions, the gears are grinding, the facade is cracking, and the rot is spreading. Here's the truth most media outlets won't say out loud: America is bleeding, and it's pretending the stains are wine. Let's talk numbers. The US national debt is over $34 trillion and climbing. That's not just a number, that's a slow-motion implosion. Empires don't fall because of a single bad day. They rot from arrogance, overspending, and complacency. We have troops in over 750 military bases across 80 countries. That's not security. That's an imperial overstretch. Rome did the same. So did Britain. Eventually, both collapsed under the weight of their ambitions, and now, the biggest threat isn't external, it's internal delusion. China is rising, and they know it. They're not playing fair, they're playing to win. While America argues about gender on Twitter and what books to ban in schools, China is building the largest navy in the world, locking down rare earth minerals, and creating parallel global financial systems that can function without the US dollar. Can decline be reversed? Now here's the twist no one wants to hear. Decline isn't a death sentence. Yet. But the hourglass is bleeding sand, and America is running out of time. Fast. Empires don't usually die in one dramatic moment. They decay quietly, day by day, while everyone's distracted by the noise. The Super Bowl, celebrity gossip, outrage bait on social media. Meanwhile, the foundation rots, the roof leaks, and the termites, political, cultural, and corporate, eat away at the structure from within. Rome didn't fall in a day, neither will America. But the trajectory is unmistakable. So the real question isn't if America is in decline. The real question is, can we pull back from the cliff edge before the fall becomes fatal? It took brutal honesty. It took pain. It took leaders with the spine to say enough, to cut through the lies and deal with the rot. America has no shortage of politicians. But leaders? Actual, visionary, sacrificial leaders? Try finding one. What we've got are puppets chasing polls, influencers disguised as officials, and bureaucrats selling the country's soul for quarterly profits and 30-second sound bites. If America wants to reverse course, it needs to hit rock bottom, and know it's hit rock bottom. That means acknowledging our cultural bankruptcy. We've traded truth for trends, wisdom for clickbait, integrity for influence. If that doesn't change, nothing will. And then there's the economy. A ticking debt bomb with over $34 trillion in IOUs, hollowed-out manufacturing, vanishing jobs, and a generation priced out of their future. Do you think a stimulus check is going to fix that? Do you think posting flags on Instagram is national unity? That's theater. That's a distraction. That's how empires die. America needs more than just a revival. It needs a reckoning. A moral one. A spiritual one. A generational one. We need to remember what built this nation: grit, sacrifice, self-reliance, and a shared sense of mission, and burn away the excess that's dragging us down. But here's the real gut punch. Is that even possible anymore? The country is fractured. Distrust is sky high. Half the nation thinks the other half is the enemy. People don't talk. They scream. They don't debate. They cancel. And the system feeds on it. The division is profitable. Outrage is monetized. Fear is algorithm-friendly. So yes, the decline can be reversed, but it won't be. Not unless Americans rise above the echo chambers, reject the puppet show, and demand something better. Not louder, better. That means sacrifice. That means discomfort. That means growing a spine when the culture says, stay asleep. We are not yet dead, but we are bleeding out. And the tourniquet won't come from DC. It has to come from us. What we can learn from history. We don't study history to glorify the past. We study it to dodge the blade of the future. And right now, that blade is swinging toward America's throat. Empires don't die with a bang. They rot from within, corroding piece by piece, until one day they just vanish, like Rome, once the center of the world. No outside army is needed. The barbarians just walked in because the gates were already open. By apathy, by arrogance, by distraction. Sound familiar? Today, America sits on a ticking time bomb of division. Neighbors hate each other over votes. Cities burn while politicians fundraise. The debt ceiling isn't a warning anymore. It's a sick joke we keep telling ourselves, hoping the punchline never comes. Civic trust? Dead. Media? A circus of manipulation where truth takes a backseat to outrage. Cultural pride? Reduced to hashtags and hollow virtue signals. The very core of what held this nation together, shared purpose, sacrifice, belief in something bigger, has been auctioned off for short-term profit and dopamine hits. And here's the part no one wants to hear. The fall isn't coming. It's already happening, slowly, quietly, in classrooms, in courtrooms, in homes where no one talks anymore, in lives where people feel more connected to influencers than their own families. If we don't wake up, the next chapter is already written. Just look at history. Look at Rome, at the Ottomans, in the British Empire. They all thought they'd last forever, too. We're not beyond saving, but we are running out of time. America doesn't need another election. It needs a reckoning, and fast. If this made you think, if it made you uncomfortable, good. That means it's working. I'll see you in the next installment of the Government Report, where truth doesn't wear a party hat.